Silas Maths,
the best place to learn mathematics.
Hello friend, welcome back to class. I believe you had a great learning experience from our previous class. Alright, still on the topic laws of indices. Today we are going to be considering fractional power law. Fractional power law of indices. Alright, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do well to subscribe and also hit on the notification bell so that whenever I drop a content, you quickly catch it up. Is that okay? Alright, let's quickly jump into fractional power law. What does the law state? Let's say mathematically, let's say if you have something like this, let's say a to the power of x over y. Right? Look at the power is what? A fraction. So what would that be? That will be equal to the root of the denominator, which is y root. Then a, which is the number, all to the power of what? X. Okay? Or we can actually express it this way by saying that this is also the same thing as root y a all to the power of what? X. So this is the fractional power law. We take the root of the denominator of this power, then raise this to the power of what? The numerator of this. All right. The same thing applies to a fraction. Let's consider the second one. Let's say we have a fraction which is a over b all to the power of a fraction that is x over y. What would that be? The same thing with what we have here. We'll just take the y root of a over b all to the power of what? X. Or we say it is y root of a over b all to the power of what? X. So these are the two forms that this could actually take. All right, when we have fraction or when we have a whole number, it maintains the same procedure, right, or the same steps. So let's jump into example. Let's quickly jump into example. Example 1. Simplify the following. We have a. Alright, we have these questions on the board which reads: simplify the following. A, 81 raised to the power of half. B, 8 over 125 all to the power of 2 over 3. And this is the last one, 18 over 50 all raised to the power of what? Negative 1 over 2. So how do we apply the law? Remember, they are all raised to the power of fraction. So to solve that for a becomes what? We have 81 raised to the power of what? Half. So that would be the power of this fraction is 1 over 2. The numerator is 1, while the denominator is 2. And need to note that whenever we have a number to the power of half, that is the same thing as, let's say we have a over half, that will be square root. That will be what? Square root of what? A. Simple. Square root of what? A. Since the power is 1, we'll just go ahead and put 1. Right? If it is raised to the power of 1/3 or 1/3, it's become cube root. Right? So this will give us square root of what? 81 all to the power of what? 1. Alright, so there's no need of putting the power 1 because this is any number raised to power 1 is that number. Okay, so we go ahead and simplify for that. Let's say that we'll punch this in our calculator, or we go ahead and apply okay, let's punch it in our calculator, and that will give us what number will multiply itself 2 times to give us 81. That is what? 9. So that is to say 9 times 9. That will give us what? 9. right? So square root of 81 is what? 9. Okay, so if I don't want to use this, I can actually apply another law, and that is a power to another power law. That is or let's take the second one, or we can say 81 to the power of half is equal to, 81 is something as 9 to the power of 2. That becomes 9 to the power of 2 into bracket 1 over 2. Okay, so remember the power to power law. The power to power law says that, or the power law says that this power will multiply this power, and that will give us 9 to the power of 2 times half. And 2 times half is something as what? 1. So that will give me 9 raised to power 1, because these two cancel out these two, and that my final answer is also equal to what? 9. That is applying what? The power law. Okay, so over to number 2. Let's quickly check out number 2. So number 2, we have the question 8 over 125 all to the power of what? 2 over 3. So how do we do that? Say applying the fractional power law, we'll go ahead and simplify further, and that will give us, now this is all over 3, that is what? Third root, that is what? So that we'll call it this, or we'll say cube root of what? The number inside, which is 8 over 125, all to the power of what? 2. Okay, so if that is the case, we go ahead and find the cube root of 8 and the cube root of what? 125. So the question is, what number will multiply itself 3 times to give us 8? And that number is what? 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 8. While 5 also into 5 places will give us what? This. So that is to say that this is equal to for this at the numerator, that will give me 2 over the one at the denominator, that will give me 5, all to the power of what? 2. So simplifying further, remember power law, this power will go for the numerator and also go for the word denominator, and that will give me 2 raised to power 2 all over what? 5 raised to power what? 2, and 2 raised to power 2 is something as 2 times 2 all over 5 times 5. And when you simplify further, you're going to have what? 4 over 25. That's the final answer. So applying that, let's go over to number 3, that's C. For C, I have 18 over 50 all to the power of what? Negative 1 over 2. And remember when we talk about the negative power law, to remove this negative, what do? We take the reciprocal of the number. So reciprocal of 18 over 50 is equal to what? 50 over 18. That's inverting it. Okay, so if that is the case, that means to remove this negative power, we are going to have 50 over 18 all to the power of what? 1 over 2. So we succeeded in removing the negative. So that will, now for us to simplify further, if we take a look at this, you discover that both the numerator and the denominator are not what? They are not perfect square. So we can't find the square root of 50, neither can we find the square root of what? 18. So what do? We are going to split this number in such a way, or should I say prime factorize them. If we prime factorize this number, we are going to have 2 numbers that we can work with, one perfect square and one other number that is not perfect. So if I prime factorize 50, look at what I'm going to have. Prime factorizing 50, if I don't know the 2 numbers that will multiply, although I know that the 2 numbers here are 25 and 2, for this one it is 9 and also 2. Okay, so if I don't want to follow that method, I can actually reduce the 2 numbers to the simplest form. If I divide here by 2, I think that will be better. Let's apply that one. Divide here by 2, I'm going to have what? 25. All right, reduce to the simplest form. Divide here, I'm going to have 9. Here is 25 and here is 9. 9 all to the power of what? 1 over 2. So we go ahead and simplify further. This will give us what? Square root of what? 25 over 9. Alright, so if that is the case, what is the square root of the numerator? That is 5. And what's the square root of the denominator? That is 3. Okay, this is something as saying, if you don't want to write it this way, this is something as saying square root of what? 25 over square root of what? 9. And that will give us what? 5 over 3. And 5 over 3 is something as what? 1 whole number 2 over 3. Yes, 2 over 3. That's the final answer for that question. All right, just observe these questions and the method we are applying to solve them seriously. So if you have any question, do well to drop it at the comment section. All right, so let's take a look at some other example. You can give it a pause and then copy whatever you have here down, so that you have a better understanding. Okay, so we're going to call it a pause here. In our next class, we will now jump into more problems, right? General problems on indices. Then after which we are going to move it over initial equation. Thanks for joining. See you in our next class. Bye for now.